Behind me, you can see one of Las Vegas's most trafficked murder mills, otherwise known as an abortion clinic. This place is called A to Z Women's Center, and it is a modern-day Auschwitz. Abortion has been legal in the United States since the 1970s, and since then, we have decapitated and torn limb from limb by surgical abortions. We have burned alive and sucked out with a vacuum by chemical abortions over 60 million tiny children. Our country is in a dangerous place with that much innocent blood on its hands. We may call it abortion today, but its name in the former days, and its much more proper name, is something like child sacrifice. And the nations have been practicing child sacrifice for many, many years. The nations in the world that have had no truth and no light of the one true God have killed their children to their false deities. In the Bible, these were those who sacrificed their children to Molech, who sacrificed their children to the god of Ashereth, and even Israel themselves succumbed to such evils. The part that makes the child sacrifice today, however, much more evil than even what has been practiced in the past is the reason for which we are sacrificing our children. Pagan cultures would sacrifice their children due to fear of evil, fear of curses, fear of famine, fear of death, anything. And it was all because of their false religions, their false ideas of what the deities wanted. In a very real sense, the people themselves didn't want to sacrifice their children, but they were forced to out of fear, driven by fear. In many of these cultures, when the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ comes in, the sacrifice of the children ceases. They no longer have such fear, and they cannot even fathom anymore sacrificing their children to these deities. Not only are we willing to sacrifice and kill our own children, but we are doing so by choice. Child sacrifice is such an abominable thing in the eyes of God. Listen to how appalled He is by it in Jeremiah chapter 7. He says, "For the sons of Judah have done evil in my sight, declares the Lord. They have set their detestable things in the house that is called by my name to defile it. And they have built the high places of Topheth, which is in the valley of the son of Hinnom, to burn their sons and their daughters in the fire, which I did not command, nor did it come in to my mind." In the act of a mother and father intentionally killing their own children, it is so contrary to nature, and it is so contrary to God Himself. Not only did He not command them to do such things, but what they are doing, He says, has never even entered His mind. Even to this modern day, parents are still incinerating and burning their children alive by abortion pills and abortion chemicals. This is so outside the realm of humanity. This is so outside the realm of natural creation that God Himself has to say, "They have conjured up such evils that I have never even thought they would do such things." What we need is not people who are wanting to regulate how many children can be sacrificed on the altar of convenience. What we need are people who are willing to say, "We will accept no child sacrifice under any conditions. The evil must come to an end." God is looking for people to rise up and to stand in the breach for those who are needy. Pastor, will you do it? Church, will you do it? These gates behind me are indeed the gates of hell. But Jesus said that those gates will not prevail against the church of the living God. But we need the church to rise up and stand in the gap. It is time for the church to take its salt and come out of the shaker. It is time for the light to come out from under the bushel, to go out into the world. It is time for the church to stand up for the needy and for the oppressed. It is time for you to love your preborn neighbors.